Hello, welcome back to another episode of What I Spend in a Day on Maternity Leave. If you're new here, in this series, I don't look at mortgage or bills, but I do look at our disposable income like shopping or going to cafes, things that I don't necessarily need to spend on. This is to give you an idea of what it looks like to be a mum trying to balance life in today's economy, but also trying to keep sane because we cannot stay in the house all day. And going outside means spending money. Today we have a couple of errands to run. I need to go to the post office. So since we're going out already, I might treat myself to breakfast and coffee outside. And we have a baby sensory class. I wanted today to be a little bit more chatty, so kind of like when you're chatting on FaceTime. I'm hoping that will help us get to know each other a little bit more. So I hope you enjoy that. But first, let's go to the post office. The reason why we're going to the post office today is that I have been obsessed with selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. Mum in my mama's group put me onto it, and I have been selling some of Emmy's old stuff. And it actually has been like a really fun way to make like a little bit of cash. I was tried to sell stuff on Facebook before, and I found that people really lowball you. But now that I'm selling baby stuff, I feel like there's like a sense of community where mums like don't try to lowball you or like offer a stupidly low price. So that has been somewhat refreshing. I did think about holding on to the items just in case like we have a second baby. But then truth to be told, like a lot of the things I'm selling, I have not ever used. So for example, I bought a changing pad, and this was so hyped as a must get item for your registry, but we've never used it. It literally sits in her room and we put clothes on it. So might as well sell it and make like $80 out of it, right? Well, our day is off to a good start because I just made $60 selling stuff on Facebook. Initially, I was going to go out for breakfast. One of my favorite cafes is doing a toasty and coffee deal for $10, but I realized it was actually time for Emmy's nap. We are going to sensory class in an hour and a bit, and it is actually such a overstimulating activity for her. So if she doesn't have a full nap before she goes, she does not have a good time. That's why I decided to ditch the coffee idea and come and have breakfast at home instead. So technically that is free and it is a win for me. I have been completely obsessed with having fig jam and cottage cheese on toast. I think I'm going to eat outside in the yard and get a little bit of sun and read a little bit. I have recently been so obsessed with going on picnics and just being outside and sitting in the sun in general. Yes, one part of it is that it is winter, and when you have like a nice winter day, it is like so beautiful to be outside. But also, I have been feeling very, I don't want to say anxious, but let's just say that. I have been feeling anxious about dying. And I don't know if any other mums feel this way. And like before having a kid, like I really didn't care that much. It's like whatever, YOLO, I'm here for a good time, not a long time kind of thing. But now that I have a baby, something I'm worried about is like not having enough time with her, and she has to grow up without me. Is that normal? So something I want to do about that is just being more healthy in general. Exercising, walking more. I have even considered picking up running for cardiovascular health. And another part of it is being in the sun. Like I have been listening to so many podcasts about the health of vitamin D and how that impacts like your longevity in life. So yes, being out in the sun more. And it is also such a good sensory experience for our babies as well. So it's kind of a win-win, and it's free. That's also very important. Damn it, I forgot to take my antibiotics again. I was actually just in the hospital for mastitis and early stage sepsis, That's why I need to be taking antibiotics. You're supposed to take it 30 minutes before eating or 2 hours after, but if I don't take it now, I'm never going to take it. So that would just have to do. But because of my baby's eczema, I've just generally been very resistant to taking antibiotics because of being worried the way it will impact her gut health and her gut flora. I even noticed the first couple of days that I was on IV antibiotics at the hospital, and because I am breastfeeding her, her eczema did flare up. So a friend of mine recommended a probiotic that is supposed to, one, help with mastitis, but it also flows through to the baby via your breast milk. This is obviously not an ad, but a recommendation from a friend that I'm sharing with you now. This is very expensive. I'm not gonna lie. One box of this is around $70. There's only 28 of them in the box, and you have to take 2 a day whilst you're on antibiotics. So this will really only last me a fortnight. But I definitely have seen the eczema flare-ups stopping since taking this. So if it works, it works. And if it means that I don't have to go through mastitis again, I would definitely pay for that because that was a terrible experience. Self-plug, I made a video talking about the whole thing, so it's here if you want to watch my story. We're running late to class! Sensory class was fun. I think now Emmy is actually at an age where she can actually enjoy it, because last term I think it was just a lot for her to process and she ended up being upset most classes. But this time she actually had such a good time. Like, she was engaged with the activities, she was looking at the people, she was watching the bubbles. So I think it was actually really good for her. But something I think about a lot is whether or not my level of outgoingness will impact the friends that she have. And okay, so let me explain what I mean. As a baby, you can't make your own friends, obviously. So it'll really come down to me as her mum going to activities and then making friends with other mums, and that will open the doors for her to have play dates. And sometimes I think because I am actually quite an introverted person, I wonder if my introversion will mean that she has less opportunities to have play dates. When I was younger, something that I really struggled with was my shyness. And I always found it really hard to make friends, especially in a setting where everyone already knows each other. And now that I'm a mum and I'm actively trying to make friends with people in my area, I've noticed a lot of them already know each other from growing up in the same area, going to school together. So ultimately, I wonder whether or not my ability to make friends will impact my daughter's ability to have friends. Long story short, I just want to know if I'm being really weird. Now we just have some errands that we need to run. I have some yarn I need to return. I don't know if they're going to let me return it because the return period was 2 months ago already, and I completely forgot. Another mum just came and picked some stuff up for me from Facebook Marketplace. So I just made another $80. I'm actually having so much fun selling stuff. I think I'm going to do a closet clean out and sell some stuff that I don't need from work, some heels that I've never worn before, because why not? What's the point of having all this stuff in my house if I'm never going to wear it? But I do want to quickly show you what I did spend money on today. I bought some jam jars, and no, I am not making jam. I am not that type of mother yet. But I bought these because I have been meal prepping porridge and congee for my baby, and I only have the big glass jars, and our fridge is so small. They just don't fit in our fridge. So I bought these small ones so that it's So each jar is one serve for her, and it's easy to store in the fridge. So this was $16.99, and they are the legit jam jar brand. So I think that's a pretty good deal actually. Now baby needs to take her second nap of the day. So I'm just going to start making dinner for us. Today I am so excited for dinner because we're making a lamb ragu, like a slow cooked one. Oh, I'm so excited. We haven't had this in a really, really long time. Hi, it's the next day and I just wanted to wrap up this video as well as do a final calculation on how much I spent yesterday. But why I didn't do this yesterday is because I am still such a baby YouTuber that I am embarrassed to be talking to the camera in front of other people, especially my husband. Yeah, I feel really awkward about it. And I figured all we were doing was making dinner at home. We weren't going anywhere, so we didn't spend any money. So sorry about that. But the spending yesterday, I have it all calculated on my phone. So first of all, we made some money, $140 in total from selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. But I did spend $5 on the probiotics. The sensory class that we go to is $28 a class, which is actually so expensive. And for the yarn situation, I didn't update you yesterday, but basically I wanted to return some yarn, but because I was like super out of the return period, what the girls let me do at the store yesterday was actually just do an exchange. So I managed to get some new yarn for myself. So overall that's like a $0 spend, but low key that's a win for me because now I have new yarn to add to my stash. And I did spend $16.99 on those jars. So my total spending was $48.99, but because of the money I made from selling, I have a grand total profit of the day for $91.01. So yesterday was definitely a win. Very happy about that. So thank you very much for joining today's video. I do this what I spend in a day videos. I try to do this what I spend in a day video once a month. So I would love if you subscribed and join our journey, but otherwise I'll see you in the next one. Bye.